learner. In this video, we are going to see about Philemon and Baucis. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, post them in the YouTube comment box. Now we will move on to the lesson. Now read about a kind and helpful couple. Long ago, a high hill in Greece lived a very kind couple called Philemon and Baucis. They were poor yet very helpful. So the couple was poor but very helpful. The couple's name was Philemon and Baucis. They had many hives of bees from which they got honey, and many vines which they gathered grapes. So they have a grapevine tree. One old cow gave the milk, and they have little field in which they grow grain. So they got honey from the hives of bees. They have a little grapes of vines tree, and an old cow they gave the milk, and they had near the house they have little field in which they grow grain. The old couple was always ready to share whatever they had with everyone. So the couple was very helpful. They will share whatever they had with everyone. No strangers was ever turned away from the door. So no strangers ever go away from the hut. Below the hill was a beautiful village. It had good roads and rich pastures all around, but it was full of wicked and selfish people. So below the hill, in the high hill, below the high hill, there was a beautiful village. It had good roads and rich pastures all around, but it was full of wicked, selfish people. One evening, two strangers came into the valley. Valley means the village, no name for village. They stopped at every house and asked for food and a place to sleep. So the strangers stopped at every house in the village for ask the food and place to sleep. But the selfish villagers did not help them. Instead, they turned them out. They set their dogs after them. So the villagers did not help them. Instead, they turned them out and they set their dogs after them. So the strangers were weary and hungry. Finally, they came to the hut of Philemon and Baucis. These kind people had eaten very little, for they were saving their best food for the next day. So these kind people is pointing Philemon and Baucis. So they had eaten very little, for they were saving the best food for the next day. Philemon saw the strangers and said, "Baucis, these men need food. They are hungry and tired." "Yes, they do," said Baucis, and she ran quickly to arrange a supper for them. Supper means dinner. Supper means dinner, another word for dinner. Philemon ran towards them and said, "Please come in. You have walked a long way. I can see dust and exhaustion on your faces." So exhaustion means one more word for dust. Okay? "I shall help you wash your hands and faces." So in the meantime, Baucis spread her best white cloth upon the table. So in the meantime, Baucis spread her best white cloth upon the table and lay on it honey, grapes, bread and milk. So she put the best dishes she had and lit candles to give a festive look. So festive look means a beautiful look. Like the hotels, festival look. So then she called the strangers to the table. The strangers touched them to gold. So the strangers touched the dishes. The dishes turned into gold. The pitcher was never empty, although they drank glasses after glasses of milk. So pitcher means jug or jug. Pitcher means jug. So never empty. Although they drank glass after glasses of milk. The loaf of the bread stayed always the same size, although the strangers cut slice after slice. So not only milk, the bread also stayed always. The food on the table also always stayed at the same size, but the strangers cut after slice after slice. These are very strange travelers, whispered the old couple to each other. They do wonderful things. Philemon and Baucis saw their feet were sore after walking barefoot. So Philemon saw their feet was very dust after walking barefoot. Barefoot means walking a long way. Baucis warmed the water and Philemon washed their feet. At night, Philemon and Baucis gave the strangers their bed. Philemon said, "These poor people are tired. We must give them our bed." "Yes," said Baucis. Philemon and Baucis slept upon the floor. So this couple gave their bed and they slept upon the floor. They gave them the bed to the strangers to sleep upon it. In the morning, they went out to bid the travelers goodbye. They walked to the roads with strangers to see them off. "Now, good people," said one of the strangers, "we thank you, and whatever you wish shall be yours. Go to your home and be happy," said the other. As he said this, his face became like that of sun. Philemon and Baucis knew at once that the sun god had spoken to them. So Philemon and Baucis only know that the sun god spoken to them. So Philemon and Baucis walked home and could not believe what they saw. Their hut was changed into a beautiful castle. So they lived in the hut. Then after that day, the hut was changed into a beautiful castle. Palace means castle. They knew only God could do such miracle. There should be After that day, the milk in the pitcher never finished, nor the food on the table. So there should be space, spelling mistake. And after that day, the milk in the pitcher never finished. So pitcher means jug. I told in the previous slide. So milk in the pitcher never finished, nor the food on the table. Nor means the food on the table also. Nor means also. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, post them in the YouTube comment box. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, post them in the YouTube comment box. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you didn't like this video, please hit the dislike button. Thank you.